So the truckers for Trump boycott continues, guys. And later in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys footage from an actual trucker on the road showing the New York, New Jersey Turnpike as being a complete ghost town. And it's going viral on TikTok right now. Trump lawyers, their closing arguments are coming out for DA Fani Willis and Nathan Wade's inappropriate or improper affair allegations, irreparable stain. And Nathan Wade's ex-divorce lawyer blurts out, "Oh, dang," when presented with texts at Fani Willis's trial. And I got a huge win for truckers that I want to share with you guys. Railroad company BNSF is set to pay truckers $75 million for collecting their fingerprints without their consent. And you'd be surprised at how big these checks are that are going to be cut out to these truckers, which I'm going to share with you guys later in this video. Trump attends the Florida hearing seeking to delay classified documents trial way out into 2025. So that could be a big win for Trump in the making. And New York City Council's reacting to calls for sanctuary city status to be ditched after a wave of illegal migrant crimes have been spiking across the state of New York or city of New York City. So yeah, got a lot to share with you guys today. All I want to ask if you guys could just take a second, drop a quick like for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And I just want to thank you guys for always sharing these videos. It totally helps at the channel. So today we're going to be diving into a story, and it's current as is pretty much as current as it gets, touching the pulse of New York City. And it's also kind of like echoing across multiple states. And it's about the movement that's not just making headlines, but it's also kind of like reshaping the very streets that we knew. It's the truckers for Trump boycott, right? So just imagine this, right? You got New York City or New York, New Jersey Turnpike. It's the lifeline for commuters, traders, and the heart of America's busiest metropolis, virtually deserted, right? I know it's kind of hard to picture, but I'm going to share this with you guys. And basically the highway is kind of like known for this relentless buzz of vehicles and trucks going by. But according to this TikToker, to this trucker, it's a ghost town. Why? Well, because of, the collective action of multiple truckers across the nation. And it's more impactful than people would realize. So you might be asking, well, what's driving all this, right? Well, there's a powerful statement that was, basically that a group of truckers kind of came together, showing their stance, their unity, and their ability to disrupt the norm in a way that demands attention. So I came across this clip, and basically it was shared by Richard Thom. He's a 36-year-old trucker who jumped on TikTok to show the world what's happening. So the footage captures this eerie silence of a highway that's usually roaring with life, and it just kind of shows where we're at right now. So before we roll this clip, just think about this. Like every empty stretch of road is a message, like if you see an empty road, it's a voice in the conversation about our country's direction and what these truckers are doing. So, this isn't just a moment of time. It's like a movement, right? So anyway, I want to show you this New York, New Jersey Turnpike from this trucker from TikTok. Check this out.
So this is the New Jersey Turnpike, one of the main arteries going into New York. We're about 50 miles. We're about 50 miles away from New York City, or New York, basically. And this is one of the main arteries going north and south before you pick up either 80 or you can get onto 287 and go across Tappan Zee. But usually it's flooded through here. See, usually it's so busy that these 3 lanes that we're on, these are restricted for trucks. Now, I'm not going into New York City, or I would make more video, but I don't see any reefer units. I don't, like what I mean by reefer units are trucks hauling produce. So usually they're all produce trucks running through here, but most of these trucks that we see are dump trucks. Those are going south. They're leaving out of this area. Container trucks, day cabs, which work, in the city work. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that work around here. They're going to keep on working, obviously. But I just think it's odd because it's really quiet. Usually it's so packed through here. If you need to get in the passing lane, you know, you guys put your blinker on and sit there for 15 minutes before somebody will finally let you in. But this is 95, the New Jersey Turnpike, headed towards New York City. And it's quiet.
So what did you guys think about that? We're seeing truckers boycotting these highways and leaving the highways empty and driving up prices in New York City. But check this out. All right, so Trump's lawyers are making closing arguments in DA Fani Willis's improper affair allegations, talking about an irreparable stain. Willis and her office are leading the sweeping racketeering case against former President Donald Trump. So a Georgia state judge heard closing arguments just today on allegations that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's affair with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade benefited her financially and should disqualify her from the case against former President Donald Trump. Now, this is huge, guys. This is huge. This could literally be a huge win for Donald Trump in disguise. Also, Willis and her office are leading the sweeping racketeering cases against a former president and 18 co-defenders. Several co-defendants, including Michael Roman, early this year accused Willis or Fani Willis of hiring Wade. Meanwhile, they're romantically involved on the side doing who knows what, you probably know what, and that she benefited financially from his government salary through lavish vacations that they took together, right? So this could theoretically present a massive conflict of interest here. Now, Willis and Wade have both denied these allegations. They're saying, hey, this didn't really happen. It's all a big misunderstanding. You know, I paid cash for this. She paid me back with cash. There's a lot of interesting explanations being had here. So Willis claimed in the court testimony that she would always reimburse Nathan Wade for her portion of their shared travels and cash. Now, I want to ask you guys, I don't know how many of you guys carry cash or use cash on a regular basis, but do you normally use cash? I mean, and also, like, if let's just say you were going on a vacation with someone and your friend, right? Let's just say you're a friend, right? Let's just say that your friend paid and you wanted to like reimburse them. How would you do that? Would you do it with cash? Would you like do a Zelle transfer, maybe a Cash App or a Venmo? Or, you know, I'm trying to understand, is it really likely or believable that, you know, all of these reimbursements that Fani Willis made to Nathan Wade were actually made in cash? So you guys let me know what you think on that one. But moving on. New York City Council is reacting to calls for sanctuary city. New York City Council is reacting to calls for sanctuary city status to be ditched after this wave of illegal migrant crimes. Now, we've been hearing a lot about crimes taking place in New York City, and it's staggering, guys. In fact, a wave of crimes across the United States have been linked to illegal migrants who have been arrested and basically cut loose under the rules. So New York City Council is refusing to reevaluate its sanctuary city laws of not cooperating with the immigration and customs enforcement on deportation matters, despite a growing list of crimes being attributed to migrants arrested in the Big Apple and then ultimately let go, when the Lincoln Riley murder suspect being the latest incident. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it was horrible, guys. So New York City Mayor Eric Adams said earlier this week that all illegal migrants who commit crimes should be ejected from the country, but the council speaker, Adrian Adams, blasted his comments as harmful and doubled down on the controversial laws on Wednesday. Quote, "We are not considering changes to the laws." They're not trying to make any changes here. Can you believe this, guys? These laws have been in effect for decades, and that's basically what their stance is on that. So here you can see Kathy Hochul. She's the governor of New York. I believe that this is Adrian Adams, who's basically saying, no, we don't need to make any changes to the law. This here, unfortunately, is the this is the person who was recently arrested, apparently, in cahoots with this murder of, what is her name? Jesus, her name is Lankin Riley. So very, very unfortunate event. But yeah, so sanctuary cities either limit or outright forbid law enforcement from honoring ICE detainers, which are requests from the agency that the agency be notified ahead of their release from their state custody and allow for to transfer illegal immigrant criminals into custody. So basically, New York is they're against following the federal laws, and they're just like saying, hey, we know about this whole illegal immigrant situation, but we're not going to follow your rules, President Joe Biden. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to follow your rules, federal government. So that's what's up. That's what's going on right now. Anyway, so here's a big win for the truckers, though. Railroad company BNSF. They've had, oh my God, they had several massive train derailments over the years. Anyway, so they're cutting the checks, it looks like. So according to CDLLife.com, railroad company BNSF is set to pay truckers $75 million for collecting their fingerprints without their consent. Who knew that was happening? Anyway, that's a big payout. But I was really surprised to see how much the checks are actually looking to be. So basically, the Fort Worth-based BNSF agreed to pay $75 million to settle this lawsuit brought by a class of 46,000 truckers. That's a lot of truckers, okay? So according to this lawsuit, BNSF required truck drivers to submit fingerprint scans prior to entering Chicago area rail yards in order to verify their identities. I wonder how many truckers out here have done this and don't even realize what was actually happening behind the scenes. I also wonder how many truckers have no idea that they actually may have a lot of money coming their way. So the suit argued that the BNSF did not tell the truck drivers that they would maintain the scanned fingerprints in a database. So apparently that was a big breach. Lawyers representing the truckers argued that BNSF violated the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act of 2008, which requires written permission to gather a person's biometric information, including retinal scans and fingerprints. BNSF was later ordered to pay out $228 million or $5,000 per truck driver following a jury trial, but the damages amount was overturned. So it looks like they were originally going to be sending out $5,000 checks to the truck drivers, but that's not the case. Evidently, it was overturned. And so instead of the $228 million, which would have been about $5,000 per truck driver, it's actually been reduced down to $75 million, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, that's that. And as you can see here on Reuters, they're also confirming the same thing. $75 million to resolve the biometric privacy class action case for the truckers. 46,000 truckers, $75 million. So what is that? So let me see. Let's see. What was it going to? So originally it was going to be like 228 million, and they reduced it to 75. So what's that, about a third? So it looks like instead of maybe $5,000, they'll probably get like $1,500 checks each. But anyway, I still think it's a big win for the truckers, especially if they weren't expecting that money. Hopefully that biometric data information wasn't like improperly used or leaked. We can only hope. Anyway, I hope you guys appreciate the video updates. If you did, definitely hit the like button. Appreciate you guys sharing this video and all my other videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.